Welcome back to Vegas Aces live stream. My name is Heather Ferris and I'll be your host for the day. On today's live stream, we are going to be discussing how to pick the best game in the casino. And yes, I know we've already done this video, but based off viewer feedback, the information was too math heavy and a bit hard to understand. So we wanted to make it easier for you guys by providing new and fun looking infographics. So if you guys have any questions or suggestions, please put it in the chat and I will answer them at the end of this video. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you're always notified of our latest videos and live streams. If you're brand new to this channel and this is your first time here, my name is Heather Ferris and I'm the founder of Vegas Aces. I'm also an adjunct professor at UNLV, a content creator, consultant, and I've been involved with the casino industry for over 15 years. Also, happy Halloween. I'm also a Star Trek person. Okay, I created Vegas Aces to help people learn how to play and deal table games. And as a way to give back to the community, we offer a free dealing trade school where we help place dealers at no cost. Now, on with the show. Okay, so we have an article up on our website that I'm going to show you guys here in one sec. Happy Halloween! I'm so excited it's Halloween. And by the way, viewers who are out there watching in the chat, put down what you're doing for Halloween and if you're wearing any costumes or anything. Okay, so again, if you go on the website, we have an article called How to Choose the Best Game in the Casino, and I would like to go over it with you guys today in this video. Remember, if you have any questions at all, now is the perfect time to ask. So when choosing the best game in the casino, it's really good to know the house edge. The lower the house edge is, the better it is for the player. Now, we have a new infographic up right here. And this, you could find this, the link to this in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. You could print this out for you so that way you have this with you at all times. Now, with the house edge, there are three things to know about it. Now, the first thing is, of course, what is the house edge? What's the definition? The house edge is the amount of money the casino is expected to make from the player's wager. So how much money is the casino making? Next up is an example of this. So one example is on roulette. If you are on a 00 roulette game, and this is probably one of like the best ways to explain this. The house edge for a 00 roulette game is 5.26%. If the player bets $100 per spin, then the casino is expected to profit $5.26 per spin. So that's how much money the casino makes off the player's hand. Now, remember, this is per hand. So if you have on a roulette game, for example, 60 spins per hour, you have to do the $5.26 per spin times 60. And that's how much the player is expected to lose to the casino. That's how much the casino is expected to profit. So, yay. I love it when stuff freezes. Give me 1 second real quick. Just got to try to fix that. Ah, there we go. That's better. Now, let's move on to the last one. Now, the thing to remember about the house edge, you have the definition, you have an example, you know, like the very basics of what the house edge is right now. So what does that mean for you? And what that means for you is you want to find a game that has a house edge that is closest to 0 as possible. The closer to 0 it is, the better it is for the player. So if you have 2 games to choose from, let's say, for example, 3-0 roulette, where the house edge is 7.69%. If it's versus playing a 3-0 roulette game versus a single 0 roulette game, which has a house edge of 2.7%, well, that's a pretty huge difference. The single 0 roulette game, it's closer. The 2% is closer to 0% than the 7% is. So single 0 roulette is way better for players than 000 roulette is. Okay, and again, if you guys have any questions, anything like that, put it in the chat. It's good to see everyone here. And luckily, we'll be able to go through all of your questions and everything at the end of this video, all of your comments too. We were at the house edge. Give me 1 second. Live streaming. Woohoo! Welcome. Thank you, Domestic. Really appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. Oh, that's so sweet. And to our viewers out there, perfect timing. If you want to help Vegas Aces, you can with a super chat. Please remember to tip your dealer. Super chat is a way YouTube allows you to tip your dealer by giving them any amount you want, just like what Domestic did right here. Thank you very, very, very much, Domestic, for that. Now, with the super chat, we do have perks. So $20 gets you a dance, which is awesome, especially with the Star Trek uniform. I'll see if I can find some Star Trek music. And we have several different levels for you. So, for example, if you want to donate $1, I give a treat to Pip. $5 is a story. $10 is a shot, and $20 is a dance. So again, Domestic, thank you very much for that super chat. I will get you that dance at the end of this video. And let me know what kind of music you want. Do you want Star Trek or do you want something else? Or if you do want Star Trek, like what kind of Star Trek? Okay. Now, another thing you could do to help support Vegas Aces is by becoming a member of our Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any membership level counts, even $1, so please go join today. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please put them in the chat, and we will get to them at the end of the video. Okay, so let's try this again and hope nothing freezes. So next up is Blackjack. And there's only one main thing to keep in mind, and that is after, where is that? There it is. Here you go. There's only one main thing to keep in mind, and after that, you can find the perfect game based off of the emoji meter. Okay, so I hope this is a little bit easier for you guys to understand and a little bit more fun. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is always play basic strategy. By playing basic strategy, by playing by the book, players can obtain a 0% house edge, which is perfect when we are trying to look for a starting point when figuring out the best blackjack game in the casino. So starting at 0, we can add or subtract depending on a variety of choices. Some of those choices are bad. For example, playing on a blackjack game that pays 1-to-1, not good. And others are good. For example, playing on a blackjack game that offers early surrender. Now, this image, again, is available to everyone here by clicking the link in the description below. You could print it out. You could bring it with you when you go to the casino. So that way you know what games are good for you and what games aren't. Okay, back to our viewers real fast. Oh, before we do that, let's go over the scales really quick, just to give you guys a heads up. So the first scale is the table rules right here. And we put this in the order of what's beneficial to you as the player. The best thing is early surrender. What is early surrender? If the dealer has a blackjack, or let's say they have an ace up, and they're asking for insurance, then you are allowed to surrender your 16 before they look and see if they have a blackjack. That's what early surrender is. And then it goes up from there. Double down after split is next at negative 0.14. And then dealer stays on a soft 17 is negative 0.22%. So that's really, really good. You want a table where the dealer stays on a soft 17. Resplitting aces, that's good for the player. Surrender is good for the player. The things that are not good for the player when it comes to table rules is the dealer hitting on a soft 17 and only being able to double down on a 10 or 11. So that's real quick through the scale of the table rules. And again, you could tell what's good and what's bad based off the emoji. Next up is number of decks. So one deck is the best at 0%. And then every deck you add after that, it just makes the house edge go up even more. So the fewest decks that you could play as possible is the best for the player. And then like what we were talking about before with blackjack, when you have a table that pays 2-to-1 on blackjack, that is fantastic for players. 2-to-1 on a blackjack is amazing. So if you ever find a game where they pay 2-to-1 on blackjack, or for example, if they're like, oh, Fridays at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we'll pay, 2-to-1 on blackjack, take them up on the offer because your house edge goes up a lot. I mean, your house edge goes in favor of the player quite a bit. That would be a better way of saying it. So Clint has a good question. Shouldn't 2-to-1 on a blackjack be plus 2.27% and not minus? So the way you look at the pluses and the minuses here is we're starting at 0, and whatever this is, you're going to either add or subtract the house edge. When you're adding to the house edge, that's not good for the player. So adding to the house edge is making the house edge higher, and that's not good for the player. When it's negative, when you have negative 2.27%, that's telling you that the house edge is in favor of the player, which means that the player is more likely to win than the casino. Typically, the house edge typically the casino has the house edge. But if it's in the negatives, that means the house edge is in favor of the player, which is good for the player. Okay, so real quick, back to you viewers. If you guys like this video and you want to help support Vegas Aces, then one of the ways you could do so is by going to vegas-aces.com and clicking on one of our affiliate banners. When you sign up for an account through an affiliate link from our site, we get a small commission. If you ever have any problems, we will be here for you. We will help you get through any dispute. Anything you need, let me know. Email me, heather@vegas-aces.com. Okay, now back to the show. After blackjack, we are going to go down here to roulette and craps. So roulette and craps. Now on craps, we'll start off with craps. On craps, when playing the field, you want to look and see if the 12 pays 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. So if the 12 is triple or it pays 3-to-1, that is much, much better for the player than when a 12 pays 2-to-1. Remember, again, house edge. Also, to when you're looking at this, doesn't have the plus or the minus like the other one had. This is just telling you what the house edge is. So again, we're looking for the house edge that's closest to 0 as possible. And 2.7 is smaller than 5.56. That's why we know triple or paying 3 to 1 is much better for players than when the casino pays double or 2 to 1. Next up is odds. Okay, so remember that players want a house edge that is closest to 0 as possible. Well, when you are taking odds, that has a 0% house edge. It is one of the best craps bets that a player can make. That's why when you're playing craps, the player will always want to take max odds. Now, when looking for a casino with a good craps table, you want to look for high odds. Now, it's normal to see 3, 4, 5 times odds, but sometimes you could find a casino that pays 10 times odds. And the best odds that you could find in Las Vegas is 100 times odds, which can be found on the Strip at the Cromwell. Roulette is next, so we're going to check out roulette again over here. And what you're looking for on roulette are the number of zeros on the game. The more zeros the game has, the higher the house edge is and the worse it is for the player. You want as few zeros as possible. Now, single zero is the best with a 2.7% house edge. However, we can get lower than that. If you are on a single zero roulette game that offers La Potage, then this lowers the house edge to 1.35%. And I put that right here. Now, the definition of La Potage. Okay, when I say La Potage, what is that? If a zero hits, then half of all of the even money bets will be given back to the player. Now, players can only get this low house edge if La Potage is available. They do not get this house edge if the game also has something called In Prison. And I have In Prison down here with an X, so you know that if it has In Prison, do not play it. In Prison is saying that when La Potage happens, when you get half of your money back, if a zero hits, what In Prison does is it imprisons those bets on the table so the player can't pick them up. The player can't take them. They have to go for another round. And then if they win or lose, depending on what happens, well, if they lose, you can't do anything. If they win, then the player could take it back. But In Prison takes away this house edge of 1.35%. Now, if you guys are wondering where you can find all of these games with all of these rules and how many zeros they have and if the field is double or triple, then check out our 2020 casino survey. You can find the link in the description below. And we went around to all of the Las Vegas casinos and got the specifics of all of the games they had to offer. So go ahead, check it out, click the link in the description below. And if you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that, please put it in the chat and I will answer them very, very shortly. Just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. Donations make it possible for us to bring you these videos for free. If you feel that this video was worth more than $0, please donate the amount you feel it's worth by clicking the link in the description below. We do have an update that we want to give you real fast before we go to the comments. We have a new game section. Check it out. If you go to vegas-aces.com in the articles page, we have a new game section, and this new game section is perfect for casino managers who are looking for new game placements or they want to check out and see what new games are out there. We are adding new games regularly. So check back for new additions or follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and we will post whenever we have a new game on the new game section. Okay, so let's go back to our viewers. Let's answer your questions. Again, if you guys have any questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Let's see what you guys are saying real fast in here. By the way, hi, happy Halloween. Cool idea for a video. Thank you. I'll bet Mississippi Stud is in the list of the lowest house edge games. Believe it or not, Blackjack has a lower house edge than Mississippi Stud. Mississippi Stud is considered a carnival game, and those games typically have a higher house edge than the core games. So, for example, with Blackjack, it's roughly around 0.5% if the player plays correctly. If they don't, it could go up. If you are playing, let's see, Baccarat, and you're betting on the banker, the house edge is 1.06%. And then with carnival games, usually you'll find carnival games. And when I say carnival games, I'm talking about 3-card poker, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Crazy 4 poker, high card flush. Those games typically are in the range of 4% and 7%, depending on the game. Now, if you want to find out the house edge of any game at all, go to wizardofodds.com, check out his game section, and you can find the house edge of any game that you could possibly imagine. Mississippi Stud. It's an old game. It was like it was one of the first games that started the carnival game revolution. So before that, there weren't really carnival games. And then when Mississippi Stud came around, that's when carnival games exploded. Let's see here. Due to COVID, we won't be doing anything for Halloween this year. In the past, we did nothing either. It's not that big of an area. It's really strange with COVID right now. Yeah, that's a good short way of explaining it. Mississippi Stud is a table game based on poker. And thank you again very much for the super chat. And we will definitely do Star Trek music for you. I will do that as soon as I answer these questions. So Joey says, how does paying 2-1 make it more likely for the players to win? Okay, they could win more money, but the odds on winning the same amount of hand, wouldn't it be the same or won't it? So how Blackjack is paid, whether it's paid 1-1, 2-1, 6-5, 3-2, all of those odds affect the house edge. So the house edge goes up or down depending on how much money the Blackjack is paid. So when Blackjack is paid 2-1, that is the best for players. That gives them the most advantage for the house edge. After that, it is 3-2, which is why we always tell people play on a 3-2 game. That's also why you'll see all the 3-2 games in high limit now and all the 6-5 games on the casino floor. 6-5 games are next. They're not good for players as far as the house edge, and 1-1 is the worst when it comes to a payment for Blackjack. Okay. Cool. Is there any way I could deposit on a gambling site with my PayPal money? This is tricky. So what I would recommend is joining us at 3 p.m. at the Odds Must Be Crazy. We are going to be doing a live stream with Mike Shackelford, Wizard of Odds. And these are the perfect type of questions that you can ask him, and he would be able to answer that better than I can. I'm more of the table games on the casino floor type of channel, and less table games online where you play a digital version of the game. But if you do go to Wizard of Odds, it's The Odds Must Be Crazy on YouTube, 3 p.m. today. So that's in an hour and a half. I will be talking with Mike Shackelford, and that would be a perfect question to ask him. So I hope to see you there. And hi, Dane. Hey, Nashvillean. Hey, Dane. Yeah, just wait an hour and a half. We're doing another live stream at 3 p.m. So if you could do that, that would be awesome, because he would be able to better answer that than I would. Oh, no, late night here. Oh, you're across this ocean. Do you still get paid for blackjack if the dealer also has blackjack? Good question. If both the player and the dealer have blackjack, then this is a push and no money is exchanged. The Netherlands. That is so cool. Greetings from Las Vegas. Hi. If it's really late, I can ask. Okay. I will ask the wizard that question. I'll write it down, and I will, you could watch the video when you wake up in the morning, and then you could see what his answer is. Hopefully that helps. No trick-or-treaters as they live in. Cool. Awesome. You guys are fantastic as always. Let us get that Star Trek going, that Star Trek music going real fast. And I wish my podcast music was longer than like 15 seconds. Otherwise, I would just dance to that because that's just so cool. Star Trek music. And you guys are fantastic. And I really, really do hope I see you guys at 3 p.m. at The Odds Must Be Crazy when we are doing the AMA with Mike Shackelford. Okay. Perfect. And I got to get 2 things for this. I'll be right back. Oh, where did I put them?
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyagers of the Starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. Okay, and that does it for today's show and my horrible, horrible dancing. Thank you again very, very much for watching. Domestic, thank you so much for the super chat. That was really, really fun. Please join us on our next live stream. We do a live stream every Monday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, this is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, reminding you that education can change the world. Have a great one. Have a happy Halloween. Have fun. Stay safe. Be careful. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Or hopefully at 3 p.m. Fingers crossed. Bye.